Journey with me deep into the heart of Stalingrad, Russia. A lost city filled with dragons, zombies, drones and Soviet bastards. And most importantly, a drunk Russian with no idea what's going on strapped inside a gigantic mech suit. Welcome to Gorod Krovi, the third DLC map for Black Ops 3 Zombies, a map that took the zombies community by storm. In Dreisendrach, we fed dragons. Here in Gorod Krovi, we ride them like mythical steeds. The introduction of the legendary Reagan Mark III and the return of the PPSH. Let's just say we were all feasting when Jason Blundell served up this masterpiece. But enough talk. It's time for us to dive into the streets of Stalingrad, take down a dragon and collect Nikolai's soul once for all. So there I was, dropping into GK like a kid in a candy store, if the candy store was filled with zombies, dragons and drunk Russians in giant mech suits. My first move was to grab quick revive because, let's be honest, no one survives this mess without a backup plan. I began killing zombies, moving through round 2, then I hit the gobblegum machine, fingers crossed and bam, perkaholic. And before y'all hop in the comments to cry about me using OP gobblegums to complete all the Easter eggs, just know that there is no way I'm doing this Easter egg with just 4 perks if I want to stay sane and release this video. But anyways, fast forward to round 3. Zombies were getting feisty, but I was getting ready. I finally got shopping free and sprinted around the map like it was Black Friday. Doors flew open and I grabbed the Kura because the MR6 wasn't doing it for me. I scooped up the first shield part and powered up the map, and I collected my first trophy, so we now had 1 down and only 5 more to go. I dealt with the last zombie, snagged the Dragon Command code cylinder and called in the graph model. I tracked the giant green laser like a heat-seeking missile. And 30 business seconds later, we had our first network circuit, and we were now 1 step closer to Pack-a-Punch. By round 6, I was in the zone. I knocked out the second graph model, found the last 2 shield parts, and grabbed self-medication from the gobblegum machine. Better safe than sorry, right? I built the shield feeling like a DIY master, then came the tank factory graph model. And my brain decided to take a nap and I couldn't find the damn thing anywhere. And when I finally did, it blew up. Fantastic. I was in need of some reassurance, so I hit the mystery box and shining bright onto my eyes, the Reagan Mark III. Finally some good luck. With the last graph model done and the final network circuit in hand, I placed them into the machine by the shield and called in our ride. A fucking dragon. I flew into the Pack-a-Punch area like I was the main character from How to Train Your Dragon and ran into the basement, grabbed the dragon egg and hopped into the sewers. I shot the glowing lights to get the second trophy, placed the dragon egg at spawn, and the next task? Get a dragon to breathe fire on it, like Madeline Klein sets my pants on fire. Oh my God. So I ran in circles like a headless chicken until the dragon finally took the hint and torched the egg. Now we had to wait for it to cool down, and in the meantime, I hit the tank station for our second trophy, then the supply depot for our third. And finally on round 9, we could pick up the dragon egg, and we could now begin our second challenge that was to kill napalm zombies. So I ran around a bit, waited for the dragon to breathe fire and shot them down like flies. And I actually completed one of the 4 main challenges for the challenge board in spawn, so that was nice. But anyways, I headed to the Dragon Command, I hopped on the dragon and flew to Pack-a-Punch, upgraded the Mark IIIs and activated the lockdown for the Dragon Strike. Wave 1, easy. Wave 2, a piece of cake. Wave 3, I picked up the trophy I got from shooting the lights in the sewers, but other than that, a walk in the park. And then we had wave 4. And if you didn't see it, I actually took my first down, but got instantly revived by my self-medication, so thank God. And finally, after a long time of waiting, the lockdown was completed and we got the Dragon Strike controller. I went down to the basement, feeling like I was on a treasure hunt. I placed the egg in the machine or whatever that thing is, and the second lockdown began. This one was more like a marathon of running around. While I was at it, I powered up a generator with a Valkyrie drone. I have no idea why, but hey, it's a part of the Easter egg. Once the lockdown was done, it was time for the most confusing step of them all, the valve step. Now, the valve step is like solving a Rubik's Cube while blindfolded. First, I had to find the valve with the green light, then the one with the pink cylinder. Next, we had to open up Google, head over to the search bar and write chronorium.com. Choose Black Ops 3 and click on Gorod Krovi. put in the locations we found our valves, and by doing this, we now had to set the different valves to the corresponding values on the website. And how any of this makes sense, I do not know, but I must say it again. Thank God that Mr. Waffles exists. But anyways, we now got access to the pink cylinder that we had to give to Sophia. You know, the gigantic talking football in Dragon Command? To keep things rolling, Sophia needed the top secret password, and thankfully it's the same every game. Kronos. Typed it in, confirmed the password, and headed back to Pack-a-Punch to grab the dragon egg I totally forgot about. Then back to spawn, where I placed the egg at the challenge board. And just like that, the gauntlet of Siegfried rose from the ashes, probably the coolest specialist weapon in all of Black Ops 3 zombies. I picked up the Mangler mask to look extra stylish and dripped out, and grabbed the last 2 trophies we needed to keep going with the Easter egg. I placed the trophies down, and it was time for the 6 different trophy challenges. And that, my friends, meant the dreaded bomb step was up next. So, the infamous bomb step. It sounds simple, right? Just a few 6 bombs. But there's a catch. You have to do it in a specific order that changes every game. Get it wrong? Well, then it's game over. My strategy? Pause the screen every time the new location flashed, write down the order, and double check my notes like a paranoid detective. When I was confident I had it, the race began. 3 minutes of frantic running later, all bombs were defused and I could breathe again. And next up, the Valkyrie drone escort. Now, the Valkyrie drone escort is pretty straightforward. Get the drone from spawn to grab Dragon Command without shooting it. Sounds easy, but those zombies love to mess things up. To be smart about it, I grabbed Idolize from the Gobblegum machine so I could transport the drone without the zombies trying to bite my face off, and 3 Idolize later, the Valkyrie drone was safely in place and the challenge was completed. The next challenge I got was to protect, I forgot what it's called. You know, the big rocket thing that we used to get the parts to the Pack-a-Punch? Anyways, this challenge was yet again easy to complete, especially because I had Undead Man Walking activated, which made it even more easy. So as soon as it was done, I sent down my little baby dragon to pick up the cargo, which I had to give to Sophia, and by that we could proceed to the next challenge, the Gersh step. In this challenge, we had to play hide and seek with a yellow glowing ball that flies around the map and talks. So I located the ball, sent it back to Dragon Command, and then the ball, Dr. Gersh, began talking to Sophia, and suddenly Sophia found out about his affair or some shit and began torturing him. Like, you don't believe me? Just listen to this.
What are you doing? You said you would help me.
Anyways, we were now onto our next challenge, the Mangler Escort. Basically the exact same as the Valkyrie drone escort, but this time the Mangler actually runs away and tries to commit tax fraud if you let him out of sight. So a bit more challenging than the previous ones. So I ran out of the Dragon Command and began my search for the lost Mangler with green eyes and escorted him back to Sophia. And by that we only had one more challenge left. The Mangler Onslaught. I picked up the keycard from the computer and hopped onto a dragon like I was Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, and flew all the way to the Pack-a-Punch where our final challenge will take place. I upgraded my Draken and placed the keycard into a machine, and the Mangler Onslaught was on. I now had to survive against waves of Manglers until the download was complete, but I had a strategy as always to make this step a lot easier. All I did was to kill all the Manglers except one on the first wave, and train the last Mangler until the download was complete. I picked up the keycard, gave it to Sophia, which then gave me the power core to power up Nikolai's mech suit. So I ran back to spawn, sent my little baby dragon to deliver the AA batteries to Nikolai, and it was now time to enter the boss fight. When I ran back to Dragon Command, Sophia were gone and the gateway to the boss fight were now accessible to us. So I hopped into the sewers for the last time, landed onto a gigantic empty field where the final battle would take place. I pressed the big red button as I always do, and a robot began shooting lasers out of his eyes, and rising from the ashes came Ultimus Nikolai in a gigantic mech suit, but Nikolai became the least of my concerns as soon as we had to fight a dragon together. So to take down the dragon, I had to wait for Nikolai to expose its weak spots with a spear. As soon as the dragon's weak spot was exposed, I rained down Mark III bullets like it was a 4th of July fireworks show. In fear of going down, I popped my Idolize to save myself and began waiting for Nikolai to throw his spear, and only 5 seconds after the dragon landed, the weak spot was exposed and I destroyed it within seconds. And 30 seconds later, I saw my chance and I took it. But this time I was too slow, so the dragon flew away before I could finish him off. And right after, the dragon began spitting fireballs all around me. And somehow, in the most crazy and intense situation I could ever find myself in, I managed to run to safety and popped my idle eyes as soon as I had the chance. Just watch this clip again, because that fireball right there will have killed me if I didn't turn around. And as soon as I turned the corner, the dragon's throat was exposed, so I finally finished him off once for all.
The dragon has been defeated. Your bravery is matched only by your drunkenness, Nikolai. Our mission can only be completed if you surrender.
A true Russian never surrenders.
So I popped my idle eyes as soon as the cutscene was over and shot Nikolai with everything I had. And after about 30 seconds of me awkwardly trying to locate his weak spots, he finally fell onto the ground, and by that, Gorod Krovi was completed.
You think you will kill me now? I am sorry, Nikolai. I wish there was another way. But know this, in my heart, I share the same pain as you. The pain of your own memory. You loved and you lost. Everything else has been delusional fantasy that distance you from painful truth. You know what I speak of. You remember, before the bombs fell, before she was taken from us, some things are forgotten for a reason!
It is done. The souls have been collected, Maxis. We'll see you
And only one more map to go.